Hi, my name is Brian. Brian Shoots Media on Instagram, Brian Knockin' on Instagram. And what's your name?
I'm Stacy Ashland. I live here in Palo Alto.
Nice, Stacy. So I was just talking to Stacy, and she was telling me about some situations where the police were, in both of our opinions, doing too much, right? Like,
they're doing the wrong things.
right.
So yes, what I was talking about is the militarization, the weaponization of the funding that goes to the police. Because when I first heard defund the police, I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. I don't want to take all the money away and disband the police entirely.
Right.
I don't want a lawless society.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that the funding is going towards excessive police force with excessive use of force, such as one of the school districts and the police department that serves one of the school districts somewhere in Santa Clara County, I forget if it was in San Jose or surrounding areas, has grenades, military vehicles.
Right.
That is not an appropriate use of funds, because
Right.
what those funds need to go to in underserved communities is reading tutors, math tutors, social workers, jobs, and food for the children.
Right.
If the money is going to the violence protection, what we're seeing now is it's causing the violence.
Exactly.
Okay, what we saw in Kenosha, what we've been seeing in Portland for 45 days.
Yes.
You know, I just drove by the ICE building up in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Immigration. Completely boarded up with plywood. It looks like an abandoned building. There's so much plywood on it.
Right.
Why does the federal ICE building need to be boarded up, you might ask? What's next to it? A school. Like a private elementary school, I think it is. It says
Right.
math and science with all kinds of Black Lives Matter that children drew signs on the fence. If the school's not boarded up, then why does the ICE building need to be boarded up? Because
Right.
there's nobody there.
Right.
If that's a sign that the federal government knows what they're doing is wrong, and they're boarding it up because they know what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, it's just not okay. I'm out here because Raven Malone is running for Palo Alto City Council, African-American woman, very enthusiastic about a very critical issue. I think Palo Alto has had maybe one African-American member of City Council.
Okay.
I think maybe one,
Maybe
Doris
one.
Cordell. She's a retired
Right.
judge. That's not okay.
Right.
That is not representative of our community.
No.
And it's not safe to walk down this street
Right.
in Palo Alto if you're Black. It's not safe to drive in Palo Alto if you're Black, because I've seen it. My sister drove to LA 100 times, nobody stopped her. Her Black friend got in the car and was sharing the driving with her. Funny how they were stopped.
Immediately.
If you search, if you stop, it's the same thing as the war on drugs. It's causing mass incarceration, and it's murder, and it's what they're calling modern day lynching, and I hate that word.
Right.
But that is what it is. If you are literally murdering, shooting, what's Jacob Blake?
Jacob Blake.
7 times in the back.
Yes.
And the perpetrator, 17-year-old white guy with an automatic weapon, kills 2 protesters and seriously injures a third.
And walks
and
away.
the police give him a bottle of water.
Yes.
You don't just need to defund that police, you need to re-educate that police on what is a threat and what is not a threat.
Right.
Because a guy with his back turned, who's walking away by the time you're on the 7th bullet, is not a threat. But the
Right.
guy with an automatic weapon that is literally just shot 3 people with witnesses,
Yes.
and you're giving him a bottle of water?
Yes.
That's when you use your weapon.
Yes.
That's when you use your weapon.
Yes.
And I'll leave it at that.